So, welcome to the lecture on advanced electrical drives. So, in the last lecture, we discussed about direct torque control of induction motor drive. So, before addressing that direct torque control of induction motor drive, so yesterday in the yesterday's class, in the last lecture, I discussed about the space vector pulse width modulation technique. If you will understand the space vector pulse width modulation technique, then it is very easy to understand the direct torque control of induction motor drive. So that's why I introduced the concept in the yesterday's lecture, the space vector pulse width modulation technique, and how you are calculating the sampling times like T1, T2 and T0. Okay, our sampling time is the sum of T1, T2 plus and T0. So that I already explained in the last class, and how to find out the minimum switching vectors, what is the minimum switching sequence for inverter also. So that I already explained. So if you see in the last lecture, so as I discussed in that last lecture, for example, if you consider this is a two-level voltage source inverter. So let us see, this is a two-level voltage source inverter. So this is leg A and leg B, and this is leg C. Okay, so this is the three legs, and this voltage VDC, this is divided into two parts, plus VDC by 2 and minus VDC by 2. So this is plus VDC by 2, this is again plus, again this is also divided into, so plus minus plus minus, this is a neutral point, this is 0. Okay, and you see this is switch S1 and switch S2, S3, S4, S5 and S6. 6 switches is there. And this is, let us see the three-phase winding induction motor. For example, this is your phase A and this is phase B and phase C. So let us see, this is S suffix A and S suffix B and S suffix C. So three phases, SA, SB and SC. So this is again, so this is phase A, which is connected to the A phase, and this is B phase. This is connected to this, and this is C phase. This is a three-phase induction motor. So the three-phase induction motor stator windings SA, SB and SC. And this is phase A, leg A, leg B and leg C. So this can be, this is the voltage source inverter. Okay, this can be for our understanding purpose. Let us see. So I am considering here, okay, the two phase. Okay, this is like this. If you connect, this is SA. This SA is connected to the upper portion. Okay, so let us see. This is the dotted points. Let's see here. So this is SA. If it is connected to this top portion, then your SA. This SA is equal to 1. If it is connected to the bottom switch, then SA is equal to 0. So this point is SA. And similarly, for leg B also, you take this, and here if it is connected to the top switch, okay, upper switch, so then SB is equal to 1. It means that if S3 is on, so then your SB is equal to 1. If S6 is connected, then it will become as a 0. SB is equal to 0. And in case the leg C also, so third leg, so this is again, I am considering this is SC. If S5 is turned on, if switch S5 is turned on, so then this is equal to 1. If S2 is turned on, then this is equal to SC is equal to 0. So like this. So same DC voltage, VDC by 2 and VDC by 2. This is VDC by 2, this is also VDC by 2, next this is ground. So now you see again we consider phase A, phase B and phase C. So this point is connected to the SA, the induction motor, and this is SB is connected to the SB here, and this is SC is connected to this SC. If you observe these two diagrams, so this is figure A and this is figure B. So here, if S1, if your phase A is connected to the S1, so then this is equal to 1. For example, if the bottom switch is S4 is turned on, so then SA is equal to 0. And similarly, in this case, in phase B, if the upper switch S3 is turned on, so then your SB is equal to 1. If bottom switch, the same leg, S6 is turned on, so then SB is equal to 0. And here, in leg C, if upper switch S5 is turned on, so then your SC is equal to 1. If bottom switch S2 is turned on, so then SC is equal to 0. See, I already discussed the number of the switching possible combinations for a two-level inverter is, that is C to the power of 6 minus 3 into 4. Because this 3 indicates that the number of phases, and this 4 indicates the illegal combinations. For example, if you are writing here phase A, then remaining switches are 4. For example, if you are writing phase B and remaining switches are 4 switches, then you are writing phase C and the remaining switches are 4 switches. So that is the 4 illegal combination. So then this is equal to 6 into 5 into 4 divided by 6 minus 3 into 4. That is 20 minus 12. So you are getting 8 switch possible combination. So it means that this voltage source inverter, the two-level voltage source inverter, has 8 possible combinations. Okay, you have to control this inverter in 8 different ways. This has 8 possible vectors. Let us see what are the different types of voltage vectors. The switching stages, 8 switching stages. The first switching stage, just I am considering this diagram only for the understanding purpose. Okay, this is for understanding purpose, and this is, for example, if I consider this is VDC, total VDC. So S1 is connected in the phase A, S1 is connected. So then I am representing this either 1 or plus, either 1 or plus, as per your convenience. Maybe most of the textbooks, in some textbooks if you are following, so then they will consider as a 1. In other textbooks they are considering as a plus. Suppose if bottom switch is connected, okay, this switch S6 is turned on, so then it is 0. It means that minus. And here also the bottom switch is turned on, it is also 0 and it is also minus. So this is connected to A phase, B phase and C phase. A, B, C. This is voltage vector V1. 1 0 0 1 0 0. or in some other textbooks they are writing like this: 6 1 2, 6 1 2 combination, or plus 0 plus minus minus. This is first voltage vector. Yesterday I already explained you. Okay, 6 because the top one is 6, 1 is the upper switch, and this is the 6 is bottom switch, and 2 is the lower switch. And second switch, second state, this is state 1, switching state 1, and switching state 2, the same case you may consider here. So upper switch, and okay, again you may consider upper switch, and this is bottom switch. So, and the upper switch is on, it means that 1 is on, switch 1 is on. So this is 1, and switch 3 is also on, again it is 1, and switch 2 is turned on, so then it is 0. So this is plus, plus, minus. So what I am doing in the first case, I turned on the one switch, upper switch, and 2 switches in the bottom switch. In the second voltage vector, I turned on the 2 upper switches turned on, and 1 lower switch is turned on, and it means that S1 and S3 is turned on, and in the bottom switch S2 is turned on. So then this is connected to the phase A, and this is connected to phase B, and this is connected to phase C, A phase, B phase, and C phase. And this is a voltage vector V2, second possible combination. Second possible combination. That is, so here 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. The second combination, that is 1, 1, 0. This combination is 1, 0, 0, or plus minus minus. And here 1, 1, 0, and this is plus plus minus. The second combination. And the third switching state, if you take the third switching state, the third one, same thing, may turn off first, okay. The second, the bottom switch is connected. The bottom switch is connected, that is S4 is connected, and S3 is connected, okay, and S2 is connected. So this is again VDC, and here also VDC. So it means the bottom switch is connected 0, top switch is connected 1, bottom switch is connected 0. So when bottom switch is connected minus, if top switch is connected plus, bottom switch is connected 0, and it is also minus. So this is voltage vector V3, switching state V2. 0, 1, 0. And for the fourth state, so it means again this is connected to phase A and phase B, and this is phase C. Phase A, phase B, and phase C. And if you take the fourth switching state, what is that? So again, we consider the fourth switching state 0, 1, 1. So it means that bottom switch S4 is connected, and top switch S3 is connected, and top switch S5 is connected. So this voltage is VDC, the switching states 0, 1, 1. So 0 in the sense S4, 1 in the sense upper switch, again 1 in the sense upper switch in the third phase. So this is S4 is connected, and S3 is connected, and here S5 is connected. A phase, B phase, and C phase. So this is A phase, B phase, and C phase. So this is also minus, plus, plus. Right? this is a fourth vector, fourth switching state. And fifth one is, to take the fifth one, 0, 0, 1. It means that minus, minus, plus. So it means the bottom switch S4 and phase B also bottom switch S6 and bottom switch upper switch S5 is connected. Upper switch S5 is connected. So it represents this. So this is bottom switch S4 is connected to the A phase and S6 is connected to the B phase and S5 is connected to the C phase. So this is A phase, B phase and C phase, and this is voltage vector 5. This voltage is VDC. This voltage is VDC. So 0, 0, 1, minus, minus, plus. So phase A, bottom switch, phase B, bottom switch, and phase C, upper switch. And the sixth possible combination is 1, 0, 1. So it means that upper switch and bottom switch, and here also upper switch. So then it is connected to VDC. This is VDC. So this voltage is connected to the A phase and B phase and C phase. So this is plus, minus and plus. Next one is repeated. So next one is again V7. So this is V6. Possible combination is sixth possible combination. So A phase, the A phase, switch 1 is connected, upper switch is connected, so it's plus, and the bottom switch is connected here, it's minus, 0, and again in C phase, okay, so again upper switch is connected, that is S5 is connected in the C phase. See about the case. And the seventh one is, for example, all upper switches is turned on, for example, like this. Is plus, 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 1, 1, 1. So this is V7. So this is EDC. So this is connected to phase A, and this is also connected to phase B, and this is connected to phase C. So this is the seventh possible combination, seventh switching state. So switching state vector. So seventh state, and eighth state is, if you consider eighth state, all bottom switches, it means S4, S6 and S2, these bottom switches are connected. So this is connected to phase A, phase B and phase C. A phase, B phase and C phase. So this is again VDC, and this is V8, voltage vector 8. This is 0, 0 and 0. It means minus, minus, minus. All bottom switches are connected. These are the 8 possible voltage vectors, and again I think you know that. So if you join, so this is V1 and this is V2 and this vector is V3, this is V4, V5 and V6. So V6 is reciprocal of V3. So V3 and V6 reciprocal. You see here, these two are. And this is V1 in the sense plus, minus, minus, V2 in the sense plus, plus, minus. V3 in the sense minus, plus, minus. V4 minus, plus, plus, because opposite to reciprocal of this one. Okay, V1 and reciprocal. And next one is V2 and V5. That is minus, minus, plus. V6 plus, minus, plus. And V7, because you see here, why I am representing V7 here? Because in V2 plus, 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 minus. V7, so this is V7 plus, 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 all are plus near to the V2. And if you see the 0 vector, that is V0, or the eighth vector, maybe you may consider, because earlier you consider as a V0, and this is the 8th vector. So this is minus, minus, minus. You see here V5 minus, minus, plus. So that's why I am considering this V0 here minus, minus, minus in the bottom near to the V5. If you join the tips of these voltage vectors, so you will get some regular hexagon shape. You will get as some hexagon shape. So this is a hexagon shape, and this is the center point. So in the last lecture, I already explained the basic concept regarding the number of switching states and how to calculate the sampling time. And now we will quickly go to the concept, with our concept, that is direct torque control. So we will discuss about the direct how we are controlling the flux as well as torque. Okay, so next concept is direct torque and flux control of induction motor. Next one is direct torque and flux control of induction motor. So let us discuss about this. As I already explained in the last lecture, so we need to control both flux as well as torque. Okay, let us see the basic conventional torque equation in a stationary reference frame. Okay, the torque equation in the stationary reference frame. Okay, by using dq transformation, by using the dq variables, so torque Te is equal to 3 by 2 into P by 2, okay, 3 by 2 into P by 2 into psi ds IQS minus psi QS into ITS. So this is a fundamental torque equation in dq reference frame, the dq variables with stationary reference frame. And now here you see the psi ds, the term psi ds and IQS, psi QS and IDS. So now what you need to do is you need to change this IQS and IDS. The total torque equation will be in a single uniform fashion. Either it may be a flux or it may be a torque. Because here the psi ds is a flux component and psi QS is a current component. And here psi QS is a flux component and IDS is a current component. So now what I would like to do is this IQS and IDS is also represented in terms of PsiQS. These two, IQS and PsiQS, is also represented in terms of the flux variables, in terms of fluxes. So, writing the torque equation in terms of flux only. Writing the torque equation in terms of fluxes only. In terms of fluxes only. So it means that first you need to write down, that is psi ds is equal to, okay, this psi ds is equal to Ls into IDS plus Lm into IDR, as from the equivalent circuit of induction motor, stator inductance and d-axis current and magnetizing component of inductance and d-axis rotor current. So from this equation, so again this can be further simplified, is Ls into IDS plus, and this Lm into IDR. So this is psi dr minus Lm into IDS divided by Lr. I am modifying this equation. So it means again, if you further simplify this, so this is written as, this equation will be further simplified into Ls into IDS plus Lm by Lr into psi dr minus Lm square by Lr into IDS. So further I am simplifying this. Ls, because it is IDS term and it is also IDS term. So Ls minus Lm square by Lr into IDS plus Lm by Lr into psi dr. If you further simplify this, Ls 1 minus Lm square by Ls into Lr, 1 minus Lm square divided by Ls into Lr into IDS plus Lm divided by Lr into psi dr. And this is 1 minus Lm square by Ls into Lr is a leakage factor. So that is sigma Ls into IDS plus Lm by Lr into psi dr. This sigma, where sigma is amount of leakage inductance of induction motor. Leakage inductance of induction motor. So this sigma is the amount of leakage inductance of induction motor. So if the leakage inductance is 0, leakage inductance 0 in the sense your Ls into Lr is equal to Lm square. When this will be equal, so then this term is this sigma value is 0. It means the coefficient of coupling is 0. Tightly coupled, there is no stator and rotor flux linkages, so then this sigma value is 0. So finally the psi ds is equal to sigma into Ls into IDS plus Lm by Lr psi dr. Lm by Lr psi dr. So from this equation I would like to write down the expression for IDS, because now I need the IDS value. So finally IDS is equal to 1 by sigma Ls into psi ds minus Lm by Lr into psi qr. This is psi dr. So I am writing here IDS is equal to 1 by sigma Ls leakage inductance Ls into psi ds minus Lm by Lr into psi dr. And similarly, IQS is equal to 1 by sigma Ls into psi qs minus Lm by Lr into psi qr. So now you see here, now your IDS and IQS is replaced in terms of the psi ds and psi qs. So now you substitute, for example, if you consider this is equation 1 and this is equation 2 and equation 3. So equation 2 and 3 again substituted in equation 1. Okay, substituting the IDS and IQS, okay, IDS and IQS in the torque equation. So first of all, my intention, my objective is here how to control, because now the statement direct torque and flux control of induction motor, that is my objective. How I need to achieve this objective. So to achieve my objective, first I would like to express the fundamental torque equation in stationary reference frame in DQ model. This is the fundamental torque equation. And now that equation is, the flux components are there and torque current component is there. So now what I am doing, I need to replace the currents, and now I am writing the entire equation in terms of the fluxes. So I need to replace the IDS value and IQS value. So I am doing the calculation for that. So IDS value is equal to 1 by sigma Ls into psi ds minus Lm by Lr into psi dr. And similarly, IQS is equal to 1 by sigma Ls into psi qs minus Lm by Lr into psi qr. And these variables, okay, that psi qs and IDS and IQS are substituting in the torque equation, original torque equation. So if you represent that, the torque equation is equal to 3 by 2 into P by 2 into psi ds, okay, psi ds is already there. So now IQS, you substitute that IQS 1 by sigma Ls into psi qs minus Lm by Lr psi qr, Lm by Lr psi qr minus psi qs into IDS value, that is 1 by sigma Ls into psi ds minus Lm by Lr into psi dr. So now further if I am simplifying this, so torque equation 3 by 2 into P by 2, okay, and now you may make it some common terms here, that is Lm by Lr and Lm by Lr 1 by sigma Ls. So Lm by sigma Ls into Lr is common. So psi ds into psi dr minus psi ds into psi dr, sorry, psi qs, not sorry, psi qs into psi dr minus psi ds into psi qr. So try to understand this. So I am replacing this, okay, psi ds and psi qr, psi ds and psi qr, and psi qs and psi dr. I am replacing this equation. So now again you need to write down what is the expression for psi ds value and psi qs value. For example, I have clearly explained, you try to understand this. So if you consider the d-axis and q-axis terms, okay, so it is let us see this is a d-axis and this is quadrature axis, and this is a flux vector. Let us consider this is a psi r flux vector. It is rotated in the induction motor. Okay, inside the induction motor. And for this flux vector, there are two components. That one component is the direct axis component, another component is quadrature axis component. This is psi dr and this is psi qr. Psi dr and psi qr for this case. You see here, if you observe the torque equation of a induction motor, so stator q-axis current, q-axis flux linkages, and rotor direct axis flux linkages, and stator direct axis flux linkages and rotor q-axis flux linkages. So this angle, okay, this angle is theta fr with respect to the stationary d-axis. So theta fr is the angle between rotor flux vector with respect to d-axis. How it is creating stator flux? There is a how we are getting the rotor flux linkage? Definitely there is a stator flux in the stator winding, and that stator flux is creating the rotor flux. So you need to write down this component is psi s dash. This is stator flux vector. So psi r is the rotor flux vector and psi s is the stator flux vector. And this angle, okay, so if you see this, so this angle is theta fs. Theta fs is the angle between stator flux vector with respect to the direct axis. And for this stator flux vector, also two components. One is d-axis component, another one is the q-axis component. And this d-axis component, if you project this is nothing but as a psi ds. And if you project this in the q-axis, this is psi qs. This is psi qs. This component is psi qs. And the angle between, you see here, one is the theta fr. Theta fr is the angle between rotor flux vector to the direct axis, and theta fs is the angle between stator flux vector, okay, stator flux vector to the direct axis. For rotor flux vector has two components. One is direct axis component, another one is the quadrature axis component. The direct axis component is psi dr and quadrature axis component is psi qr. How this rotary flux vector is created? Because of the stator flux vector. So let us see the stator flux vector. This is the stator flux vector, psi s. So once there is some stator flux, then only the rotor flux will be existing. So this is the psi s. Psi s is the stator flux vector. Psi s is stator flux vector and psi r is rotor flux vector. Okay, and the angle theta fs. Okay, theta fs is the angle between, you may write down here, theta fs is the angle between psi s, okay, with respect to direct axis, with respect to the stationary axis. And theta fr is the angle between psi r with respect to, again, d axis. This is the stationary d axis. And there is one more angle. You see here another component, the angle between stator flux vector and rotor flux vector. The angle between the stator flux vector and rotor flux vector, this angle is called as a gamma SR. This is a gamma SR. So here gamma SR is the angle between the stator flux vector with respect to rotor flux vector. So here we are considering the three angles. One is theta fs and theta fr and gamma SR. Gamma SR is the angle between stator flux vector with respect to the rotor flux vector. Theta SR is the angle between rotor flux vector with respect to the d axis. Theta fs is the angle between stator flux vector to the direct axis. So now what I am doing here is, so this psi s has two components. Okay, again I am explaining here. This flux vector, stator flux vector, has two components. One is psi ds, another one is psi qs. Psi ds and psi qs. And similarly, for rotor flux vector is again two components, that is psi dr and psi qr. So psi dr and psi qr. Okay, psi dr and psi qr. So now, okay, both vectors are rotating. Now you try to understand this. So this is the stator vector. Okay, if you project this is the stator vector and this is the rotor vector. Both these vectors are rotating with a synchronous speed. Omega e. Both these vectors are rotating in a synchronous speed. So with respect to each other stationary. So when you consider, so both are, if you are considering the relative speed between these two is 0. Okay, the relative speed between psi SR, okay, psi R and psi S. Psi S and psi R, the relative speed between these two are 0. It means that both are rotating in a synchronous speed. So try to understand this. This vector diagram is very, very important to understand the concept of direct torque control of induction motor. So now, to achieve the direct torque control, we need to control the angle between rotor flux vector and stator flux vector. What is the angle between rotor flux vector and stator flux vector? This side, gamma SR. So when you control the gamma SR, automatically you will get torque is controlled. Let's see how it will be possible. So now what I am doing is, so write down theta fr is the angle between the stationary frame or stationary face. This direct axis is the stationary face. Stationary face to stator flux vector. This is theta s. So if you write down theta fs is the angle between stationary face A, maybe in the direct axis, stationary face A axis, to stator flux vector, that is psi s, stator flux vector psi s. And similarly, theta fr is the angle between stationary face A axis to rotor flux vector, is psi r dash, is psi r. And gamma SR is the angle between, psi SR, that is stator flux vector, and rotor flux vector. Angle between the stator flux vector and rotor flux vector. So you need to control this gamma SR to control the torque. So let us see. Now you need to write down, because your torque equation is again composition of psi ds, psi qs, psi dr and psi qr. So now you explain these psi ds value and psi qs value in terms of the sine component as well as cosine components, maybe horizontal component and vertical component. So if you see, so this psi ds and psi dr is the horizontal component and psi qr and psi qs are the vertical components. So now if you write down this psi ds is equal to psi s into cos of theta fs, cos of theta fs. This is the horizontal component. And psi qs, similarly, if you write down psi qs is equal to psi s into sine of theta fs. And now psi dr is equal to psi r, okay, psi r into cos theta fr, cos theta fr. And psi qr is equal to psi r into, maybe you can say vector, no issue, psi r into sine theta fr, sine theta fr. So now what you need to do is, for example, this is equation 4. This torque equation is equation 4 and this psi ds is equation 5, equation 6, equation 7 and equation 8. So now you replace, you may replace the psi ds value, psi qs value, psi dr value and psi qr value. So these 4 components are replaced by equation 5, 6, 7 and 8. If you will rewrite that equation, so then erasing this, substituting the equations 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 to 8 in original torque equation 4. Original torque equation 4, that is torque Te is equal to 3 by 2 P by 2 into Lm by sigma Ls into Lr, sigma Ls into Lr. So now you replace psi qs. Psi qs is equal to psi s into sine theta fs and psi dr is psi r into, okay, psi dr in the sense psi r into cos theta fr minus, okay, minus psi ds. Psi ds is replaced by psi s into cos theta fs into psi qr. Psi qr is psi r into sine theta fr, sine theta fr. So if you simplify this further, that is equal to 3 by 2 into P by 2 Lm by sigma Ls into Lr, may take common Ls, psi s into psi r. These are the stator flux vector and rotor flux vector component into sine theta fs into cos theta fr minus cos theta fs into sine theta fr. So that is equal to torque equation is equal to 3 by 2 into P by 2 into Lm by leakage factor sigma Ls into Lr stator flux vector into rotor flux vector. This is sin theta Fs cos theta Fr cos theta Fs sin theta Fr. So then simply you can write down this as a sin of theta Fs minus theta Fr. Sin of. So you see the difference of this one. This gamma Sr, you see, if you verify the vector diagram of this one, gamma Sr is the difference of the theta Fs minus theta Fr. So now what I am replacing this, that is 3 by 2 into P by 2 Lm by sigma Ls into Lr psi s into psi r into sin of gamma Sr. This is equation number 9. This is the, so now you see here, so let us see, you may consider this. So finally what I am writing here is, so the torque T is equal to some constant K, because this is again a constant, some constant K into psi s minus psi r into sin gamma Sr, sin gamma Sr. So this is gamma Sr. So this is equation number 10. So this psi s and psi r is the flux components. So psi s and psi r are the flux control. This is the flux component. And gamma Sr is the angle control. This is angle control or torque component. This is a flux control. Psi s, if you control the psi s and psi r, the flux will be controlled. So that's why it's a flux control. If you control the angle gamma Sr, so that is angle control or torque control of induction. And this equation 10 is also similar to your torque equation of DC motor, that is Te is equal to K into If into Ia. K If into Ia. So this is again flux and this is again your torque component. So again it is possible, decoupling is also possible here. The torque is controlled by independent controller. Decoupled control is possible. Similar to your vector control. But in your vector controller you are doing all the synchronously rotating reference frame variables are again you are converting to the stationary reference frame. Because now what you are doing, all your reference frame variables are converted to rotating reference frame, and again that rotating reference frames are again you are converting to the stationary reference frame. So it means that there is a coordination transformation block is required in your vector control. But here it's not required. Only if you control the angle, okay, that is gamma Sr, so then you will get it control. So one more point I would like to explain here. So from this equation, if you see the torque equation, K is equal to gamma, torque is equal to K into rotor flux vector psi r and stator flux vector psi s. And this is the flux, finally we call it as a flux. And this sin gamma Sr, this is the angle control or torque control. If I want to control the torque of an induction motor, I need to control this angle, this gamma Sr. I need to change, maybe if I want to increase the torque value, so then I need to increase this torque angle. I need to increase the gamma Sr. If I want to decrease the torque of an induction motor, now I need to decrease the gamma Sr. How I will increase and decrease this gamma Sr? By using this stator flux vector and rotor flux vector. If I increase the stator flux vector component as well as rotor flux vector component angle, so then again your psi Sr is increasing. If I will decrease the angle between these two vectors, then again your psi s sir will be decreasing. And you have one more doubt, sir. Again, you see, why can't you control this psi s and psi r values? Because as I already stated in the last lecture or in my earlier lectures, the flux will be constant. If you change the flux frequently, so then your machine will not respond properly. You keep the flux as value as the rated value, and then you will change these components. The gamma S you have to control. If you are changing the continuously the flux value, then your machine is going to the saturation region. Your machine will enter the saturation point. So that's why it is not advisable to vary the flux component. It is only advisable to vary the angle control here. This is flux control and this is the angle control. So how to control the angle? By changing the psi s value and psi r value. Let us see now how again we will change this, and again we will discuss.